Here's my next work in progress. It's I don't know what it is, but I'm doing lots of dripping, and so the canvas is propped up, and I'm just dripping stuff from down on the top. It's quite satisfying watching it dribble down, and so the canvas is covered in some tissue paper and like a acrylic medium, actually a PVA dilute, which is giving all this lovely ridging, and that gives channels for the ink to flow in and to pool in, as you can see here, and so it creates these lovely patterns that we can see there. And I'm hoping that when it soaks in and dries, that it's going to really bring out the sort of texture of the tissue paper, and we'll start to see some sort of, you know, dried edges of this paint ink, and so there's a big scrunchy bit down here. You can't really see it, but behind that is a painting of two faces, and this should dry quite somewhat translucent, and I'll probably try and tease the faces back out again when I've dried it off. But for now, I want to put on, as you know, a fair amount of ink, and just let it drip and make patterns and sort of these organic streams, and I don't want it too dense. I don't want it too dark, because that will really obscure the painting below that you can just sort of see here. I don't know if you can see it through this, but here you can. There's a face, it's upside down, but so I'm just sort of adding bits of ink and water and paint, trying to tease these streams going down, and hopefully it'll come out nicely. It's a lot warmer today, so it's probably about 12-13 degrees in here, which means it'll dry a lot bloody quicker, because it's been below zero for the last week or so and nothing's been drying, which is really frustrating. So I'm feeling quite confident that I'll actually be able to do something with it tomorrow, if I have to put it in front of the heater for a bit, but we shall see. I've got these squirty bottles that I bought from a shop, a cheap stuff shop, and they cost almost nothing, and then they come with the ink in them, the paint in them, and they're and then I just reuse the bottles, and I really like squirty bottles. This is my trusty spray bottle here. I've got two that I love. I'm a bit of a spray bottle connoisseur, because it's quite hard to find ones that are really robust and can be really controlled, and this one is really good. I love it so much. It's great. If someone took it away, I would chase them down and hunt them down to the ends of the earth. And I've got another one over there which I've had for much longer, which I really love. And yeah, I like spraying things. So I've got, excuse the mess as usual, I've got a bunch of spray cans here, and there's my inks. It's all a mess. Half of those are empty. I need to buy some new ones. Look, here's a few other pictures if you want to see. Look, a nice abstract one there. I really like that one, just layering up translucent inks to create this lovely effect. And one behind it's a work in progress, and this one too. My little alien dude in the background there. All of these are sort of works in progress. I'm just trying to, I have the heater on anyway, because this place is still a bit cold, so I've got it blasting at that painting right now to try and get it dry. And then here's another one. I showed this one the other day if you watched it, my earlier video. This was the one with the bits of strips of paper that I've now taken off. Now I'm going to keep those and I will put them in another painting, and I'll actually stick them on this time because they've got nice colours on them now. Maybe in that one. This one's another one. I'm trying to layer up layers of translucent glue and sprayed on inks over the top of this sort of semi-geometric pattern, and so I can have these sort of blobs of these white blobs are going to dry transparent, and so it should be a sort of combination of almost like bubbles of clearness, or that are showing the canvas underneath, and it should look quite interesting. Or it might be a complete pile of dung. Watch this space. This is one of my graphite paintings, my graphite abstract paintings. It's kind of hard to see in this light, but I did this by combining graphite dust, which is here. I can't really show you. The graphite dust is what's propping up my my painting here. So it's literally like the sort of the dust you get with when using a graphite pencil, and it's usually used to sort of blend in pencil drawings. I mix it with medium because it gives it this lovely iridescent finish that you can go over and over. And I just put graphite dust on my rag here, and I can rub it in to get more translucency on the top. This one's got a slightly brown tinge because I put some acrylic ink with the medium and the graphite. Now I've got these circles on it, and I've put some extra medium on those. I'm waiting for it to dry, and I'm going to give them an extra layer of uncoloured graphite dust, so it almost looks like we've got a couple of sort of shiny silvery planets on this slightly sort of rusty brown background, and I'm hoping that will look pretty good, but take a little while longer to dry. So that's what I've got on, and this thing is just a bit of paper. I've just thrown some random bits. These are actually canvas stretcher wedges. I just have a box of them because I don't use them very often, and I put them on it so when I splash the inks on I can get a bit of variation of tone and shape on there. It's a random experiment to see what happens. And yeah, back to this. It's still dribbling away, and you can see it. Try and get my shadow out, creating all these lovely patterns. There's a bit of red, and I really like it when you get this sort of red and this dark blue, this navy blue. They mix and sort of, but also keep quite separate, and you get these sort of darker ridges and darker flows, and it creates a bit of variation in colour and tone, but in a way, such a way that, you know, I don't have a lot of control over it, and it creates effects that I can't predict, and I really love that. I love that I can't predict these things. I love that I don't have much control over any of this, and it's very liberating, and it really feels like, as I've said before, like a collaboration with nature. Anyway, that's my studio for the moment. Let me give you a view of this horrible mess. I really want to tidy up, but I really can't be bothered. So you know, I'll tell you when I get round to it. This place will be spotless one day, guarantee it. Just check it in again because I've added a bit more paint. Just watching these bits drain down, you can see that the red and the blue have really started to mix in to create this really dark indigo colour. I'm just trying to feed it enough so it dribbles down right down to the bottom. So I've got a pipette here. Let me just add a little bit more blue up here. Here. There we go. Oh. That's going down a different route, which is cool. I've ended up putting more paint on this than I intended to, but I'm so enjoying the process, I sort of don't care. I can usually take it back a bit if it's gone a little bit too crazy, but I just love all these patterns that it's making, where it's just soaking in different bits of the canvas in different ways. And yeah, it's really, really mesmerizing. But I should probably stop soon, lest I completely ruin it. But that's my biggest Achilles heel, is not being able to leave stuff alone. So I guess we find out if I manage that. So here we are. The piece is dry. It's been drying for a couple of days now, and I need to stop playing around with it. I saw this, I took a look at it yesterday and thought to myself, oh, actually that's come out quite nicely, I quite like that. I'm looking at it now and thinking, I don't know. Yes, no, maybe, right? And if you take a bit of a step back, it starts to take a bit more form, and I quite like these sort of coalescing red and blue streaks, and the fact that the faces can just be seen. You know, it's almost like they're underwater or in like a gassy fog. And there's some quite nice shapes that have emerged, and some patterns and some textures, and I like that. And some of these patterns where the paint has dried in a sort of grainy way. Would I say this has been a success? Not yet. I frequently have to put works away for a while and then come back to them. Am I going to stop fiddling and meddling and poking and prodding this? I don't know. I really can't decide. And so I'm going to stick it in a pile in the corner and forget it exists for a while, and then pull it out a bit later, and you get that exciting, riveting moment where you pull out a piece of art that you haven't seen for a while, and either give it a complete look of horror and embarrassment and hide it away again, or find yourself bathed in its majestic light like a bolt from heaven, and think, what manner of genius created this, and then put it back in its pile again and forget about it. And so I need to make it disappear for a while, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And when I bust it out again, if I remember, I'll maybe do a little addendum to this video, but in the meantime, feel free to tell me what you think of it. But if you say it's bad, I won't listen. Okay, bye.